Hello again, I am Jim Bob, and welcome back to F1 Manager 23 on PS5. It's time for round 4, our first sprint weekend of our season 2 here. We're heading to Baku for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. So, here we are then, ready for our first sprint event. It's been a very, very strong start to the season for us. As you can see, we are 60 points clear of Red Bull already in the Constructors' Championship. And it's a fight between our two drivers. George is definitely winning that fight so far. 3 wins from 3 for George, 3 second places for Lewis. They have kind of alternated the fastest laps between them. I think George has 2 of them, Lewis has 1, I think. But yes, it's been quite comfortable this season. The last race especially so. Let's see if we can continue that form going into Baku tonight. We only have 1 session to get the cars sort of set up, prepped before we go straight to quali for the sprint, so we've got to get on that pretty quick. Let's just take a look at what's currently in development. As you can see, we have a new set of side pods on the way. The designer were finished in 3 days, 4 days for the suspension, and 9 days for the front wing. Got just a couple of spare rear wings on their way as well in manufacturing. Let's check we've got the right parts on each car. So they're both on the Mark III chassis. They're both on the Mark II front wing. The new rear wing, the Mark II, that's equipped on both cars. Same with the Mark II side pods, the Mark II underfloors, and the Mark II suspension. So they both have equal machinery. And I was talking about it last night, trying to figure out where we could see who was on what power supplier. I figured out where it is. It is in here. When we go to powertrain usage, you can see who's using which engine. And already we can see McLaren have switched to Ferrari engines. Wow. Williams have gone to Renault. Haas have switched from Ferrari to Red Bull. AlphaTauri have gone back to Renault. Alfa Romeo are using Mercedes engines. Wow, so some interesting changes there. Did not expect to see quite that many changes at the end of Season 1. But that's kind of cool to see the teams actually switching power units. Obviously, Ferrari can't change, Red Bull can't change. I'm surprised, actually, that AlphaTauri can. I didn't think they were allowed to. I thought they were locked into Red Bull engines, but apparently not. And obviously, Alpine are obviously locked to Renault engines, but everyone else is, and we're locked to Mercedes engines, but everyone else is kind of free to pick and choose who they want to be in there. Like I say, there's some very interesting switches going on there. Very interesting switches. Right. Well, let's set our performance targets for tonight. So the incentive, get 2 cars into Q3. That should be comfortable enough. We're going to go for 2 in the top 3 in quali and 2 in Q2. The finish position, 2 in the top 4, should be able to achieve that. We'll go for the fastest lap. And then our streaks, we're 3 races down on this one, 2 in the top 5 for 5 races for quali. We are well on our way to completing that. And 2 in the top 6 for 2 races. We're halfway through that. So hopefully a bit more extra cash coming that way too. Evening, Mr. Water, Teofik, George, and Gara, hello from Brazil. Right, I think that's all we need to do. We've got no scouts doing anything at the moment, so let's allocate out some scouts. Let's see, let's have a look at some more up-and-coming drivers. I want to get some details on Yuki, because he's been performing reasonably well. Been having a few issues. Giovinazzi is the Red Bull reserve. Still can't quite get over that. Let's take a look at Hulkenberg's contract. Who else? Danny Rick. Curious to see what his stats look like after a season on the sidelines. And Felipe Drugovich, we'll check him out as well. There we go. That's all 4 of our scouts allocated out. How much cash do we have? 1.2 mil. It's not enough to do anything facilities-wise. So let's go to Azerbaijan for the beginnings of practice.
Greetings from Azerbaijan, where we're back in the country's capital. The spectacular Baku city circuit will take drivers right through the city streets, from the narrow roads of the old town to the wide highway alongside the Caspian Sea, where cars will be fighting wheel to wheel this weekend. Baku city circuit challenges drivers like few other tracks. The tight section through the old city demands precision. The main straight, pure aggressive acceleration. And every corner is a challenge for tyres.
This weekend will be taking a slightly different form, as we have the addition of a thrilling sprint race thrown into the mix.
That's all here. Now back to the action.
See, RW is getting the party started in the in the emoji war in the comments already. Evening Baron, Andy's. Good to see you guys. Hey Sasha as well. Right. So we only have the one session to get our cars locked in. So we're going to be approaching qualifying, well, not qualifying, practice in a slightly different way. No Teo this weekend. As soon as we get setup feedback, we're going to call the drivers in and make the changes that we need to, and then send them back out. As soon as we get those changes, we'll call them back in again and try and send them out to get some partial feedback on those secondary changes, so that we can then make a final assessment at the start of sprint quali. Let's see. I don't have much in the way of 100% setups, because it's very hard to nail a 100% setup in just one sitting from blind. So I've only got 3 in the book, but one of them does seem to pop up a bit more often than the others. So we're going to go with that one to start, which is 1.5, 10.5, 3.7, minus 2.95, and then usually the 0.8 or 0.85. We'll go with the 0.85 to start. So that's George's car setup. Let's do Lewis's car. I'm going to go with something a little different, so we'll go with a 1, 10, 2, 8, 3.15, and a 1. And let's see if either of those actually works. Right, send them to the track. Where am I getting these setup figures? Combination places, partly from the setups I did on F1 22, F1 Manager 22, plus also my Platinum playthrough on the PS4 version of 23 as well. Yeah, I've got a notebook, I'll write any 100% setups down in that, and then it gives me a good starting point for the next time I go to that circuit. So we're just going to be blitzing through these setup runs as quickly as we can. So we want to try and get the car as nailed as possible before the end of this practice session, if possible. So I recommend to make notes on setup. Yeah, exactly. I mean, the teams in real life do it. Like I said, they go in with simulator prep and they go in with historical setup data from previous years. You know, so they always have, while they might not have it, you know, spot on, they have a good solid starting point as to how to set the car up for that circuit. This is no different. You know, I look at historical setups I've used at this track and pick one of those as a starting point and then tweak from there. So, with Lewis, we've got a 94%. Russell, we've got 99%. So we've already nailed Russell's setup. That is excellent. Lewis needs a little bit more work. You thought you were blind for a second, your video was on 144p. Yeah, I stream in 1080p at 60 frames a second because that's the maximum setting the PS5 lets you stream in. Right, so we do need a little bit of work on this. So, let's see. Let's go 1.5, 210, 2.8, 3. That is a bit too much. Let's try that. Oh, we've got a red flag. Someone's crashed. Big style crash. It's Williams, I think. No, it's an Alpine. It's Ocon. And yeah, he's parked right on the exit of a blind corner. So yeah, not surprised that is a red flag. Okay, well that's going to kill 20 minutes of our setup window, which isn't great. Okay, well luckily George's setup is pretty much nailed. All we need to do is just connect that to there, and that should be 100%. And I'm not sure with Lewis. We'll see. Hi, evening, Farrah. The George Appreciation Society is finally here. Not you, Mr. Thomas. Although you can be in the George Russell Appreciation Society, I suppose. So we've got a very short window. We've got less than 20 minutes of running. I don't know if that's going to be enough to actually get feedback on Hamilton's setup. It's certainly going to leave us a little underprepared going into this race.
Okay. Surface temps are low all round.
Are you happy with tyre temps?
Yeah, we're not going to get complete setup data here. Really close. But I don't think we'll quite get that fifth bit. No, not quite. Okay, so let's have a look. At the feedback that we do have.
Qualifying is coming up, and we're close now to finding out how the drivers will line up on the grid for the sprint.
As usual, drivers have 3 parts to qualify for their grid position. Unlike a regular qualifying, however, today will set the grid for the upcoming sprint.
Now, there's been a bit of talk about Sergio Perez of late. How's he going to be feeling, do you think?
They must be feeling good after their fast lap times in practice. Confidence can do great things for a driver, so I'm excited to see how they handle qualifying.
Strap yourselves in. This is Formula One.
Okay, so that's car parts. We want car setup. Yeah, that's looking pretty much nailed on. Just waiting on feedback on the traction, which we'll get, obviously, when we complete the first flying lap. How are we looking for Lewis? It's looking good. I'm going to going to keep my fingers crossed on that one. I'll take a screenshot because this is slightly different to what's in the book. And then I can add it in if it does actually go 100. So let's send them out. 1 lap in Q1. Got a Haas sneaking out in front of George.
Rear brakes.
Yeah, agree.
So let's just focus on the outlap.
Yep.
Right, just the 3 cars on track right now. Here come a couple more. That is Norris and Perez making their way out. And we've got Alex Albon on track as well now. Right, let's see if we get the obligatory wave of cars about to exit the pits just as we start our flying lap.
All clear ahead. Good to go.
Yep, there we go. Here they come. Ferrari and an Alpha. That's Zhou and Sainz. And now Gasly. All going to be spitting onto the track just as we get there. Should be able to clear at least one or two of them here. George is going to catch somebody at a really bad part though. Get out of the way, Zhou. Okay, Russell is quicker than Hamilton. That's probably because Hamilton was being held up by Gasly there. Let's see how it balances out in the second sector. I think George is clear for a bit now. That's Magnussen up in front, I think. There's Zhou, just in front of Lewis. Oh no, that's Sainz. Little lift going through the corner there, side by side with Sainz, so that's going to hurt Lewis again. Now a clean line to the flag. Do drivers get penalties for holding up other drivers? No, there are no blocking penalties in F1 Manager.
And if we can just get that delta negative.
Right, so 142.6 is our opening lap time, and Hamilton got held up really badly. Look at that, he's 8.5 tenths off.
Box.
I might have to send Hamilton out again. Not sure. He should be okay. Let's see how far down the order he slips. We'll prep the car just in case. I think it was safe. The only driver who's really going to jump way out of that is going to be Gasly. Oh, actually, I'm not going to take the risk. I'm going to send him out just to be on the safe side, because all of a sudden it's looking a little bit more precarious.
So we have taken the flag.
I mean, we should be safe. Piastri's half a second behind and unlikely to close that gap. But let's see what Lewis can do with a clean run with no traffic. He's already gone purple in the first. Purple in the second. This could be a provisional pole here. Track has rubbed in a bit more as well since the beginning of the session. Yeah, there we go. 0.3 faster than Verstappen. He was, what, 8.5 tenths slower than Russell? He's now 6 tenths quicker. So he's he had a second and a half turnaround there. Right, into session 2. Going to go on the same tyres. Again, we're going to get our lap in nice and early.
Be careful with the warm-up.
See if we get traffic this time round.
We should do some work on the brakes.
Copy.
VHS to DVD, yeah, that was a big jump. Cassette to CD was pretty big. .480p TV to 1080p was a huge jump. Oh, we never checked to see what the feedback ratings were like on the car setups. We'll do that when we go back to the garage. I remember in 2008 when I got my PS3 and my 1080p TV. And I invited a mate over and put in Starship Troopers, and I showed him the VHS quality preview, the trailer, preview trailer for the movie as one of the extras. Showed him that, and then I showed him a scene from within the movie in glorious 1080p on Blu-ray, and it blew his mind. It was just incredible, the difference in visual quality. Trailer for the movie from the VHS version looked like it had Vaseline smeared all over the lens. Once again, it is Russell looking a little bit quicker. That might be because his tyres are in a slightly better shape. It might just be he's in really good vein of form right now, and
So currently P1.
I have
So
noticed
just
that
confirming
he does seem to be able to switch his tyres on a little bit quicker than Lewis. Once again, Lewis is 8/10 off.
P1.
Going to have to do a double lap run for Lewis in Q3. I mean, we're going to anyway, but... Oh, someone's crashed.
A big crash here. Debris everywhere.
Who and where? It doesn't tell us. Alright, let's have a look through other cars for damage. Alright, it's not Sainz. It's not Hamilton. It's not Ocon. It's Stroll. Oh, is it? No. Maybe Schumacher? No. Max? No. Oh, hello. Is it Sainz? He's on an out lap. I don't know. I don't know who crashed. Oh god, yeah. PS4 was so noisy. So noisy. Even the pros, you know, it sounded like a jet engine taking off anytime you put in any kind of game that pushed the system a little bit. I remember playing God of War. It was just so noisy. PS5 is whisper quiet in comparison. It's still not it's not totally silent, but it's definitely quieter. I am gambling on Lewis getting through here. It's going to be a little close. Who is in danger of knocking him out? Hulkenberg, Norris and Schumacher are the three that we need to pay attention to. Schumacher can't get out in the top 10. Norris can. Oh, okay, so now I think it's on Hulkenberg. It is. He's not improving enough at the moment, well, at least in the first sector. He's improving in the middle. Is Hulkenberg going to knock out Lewis? PS5 is way easier to clean. Yes, easily much easier to clean. And Hulkenberg improves up to 11th, but he can't knock out Lewis. Oh, it's close. Look at that, just 0.03 of a second. But Lewis is through. Took a gamble, it just about paid off.
So that's P10. That time's safe. Nice work, Lewis.
Okay, so we'll do one lap on the old tyres. And then 2 laps on the new tyres. Yeah, for whatever reason, Lewis just doesn't seem to be switching his tyres on a single lap run. At this circuit, so with a 2-lap run he'll be fine, which is what we'll do with the new tyres. But these are just banker laps. They're not going to be, you know, astonishingly quick, and I would not be surprised to see Hamilton at least half a second behind Russell again.
So you're P1 at the moment.
Okay, 142.9.
So call the car box.
And there we go, exactly half a second. Again, Russell's
So that's
tyres
currently,
have
P1.
done 3 laps less. But a double lap run on new tyres will sort them out. So we don't have time for a cool down lap as well. So it'll be 2 straight laps. So they will run out of battery towards the end of the last lap. So let's just get them round the track to start their flying laps. Here we go.
So we've got clear track now. Good to go.
Circuit is all clear ahead now. Good to go.
Have got Ocon in the way again. Have you any idea how much money it would cost me to sack Lewis? Even though he's contracted for 1 season, it would still cost me probably about 20 million. Right, Lewis is purple in the first. And George is not. Zach Hamilton, he's too slow. How foolish do you look now? Purple for Lewis in the middle. Not for Russell. This is potential pole lap here. And Lewis sets a 142.0 to go onto provisional pole. Russell is 0.2 slower. Well, they just go purple in the final sector. Second flying lap. Anyway, how can you say Lewis is too old when Alonso's older than he is and was on provisional pole? No improvement in the first sector. I kind of expected that. Tyres are a little bit cooked. Russell is improving in the first sector, but it's not a purple. So it's just a personal best. And drivers are going to run out of battery very soon, if they haven't already. Russell might get a bit of a slipstream here on the... sorry, not Russell. Hamilton might get a slipstream here on the end of the lap. Look how much he's caught up to the back of Ocon. Oh, it's definitely going to go slipstream now. Can Lewis improve? No.
And that's currently P1.
Russell improves and drops the gap down by a tenth, but he's still in second. There we go.
It's currently P2.
That is it.
Yeah, we're happy with that. And we will box end of this lap.
Copy.
No one else is going to be able to beat that, I think. I hope. Alonso is on a fast lap. Leclerc crosses the line and is fourth. Verstappen still on his lap. Lewis didn't need the slipstream, whether it was criminal or not. Alonso is up in the middle sector and potentially got some traffic. The Ferrari of Leclerc. Don't know if that will have affected him slightly. Driving for the line. Max is up in the middle sector. Perez is on 2 personal bests. Alonso can only improve by a couple of hundredths. Perez improves to 5th. Max improves to 3rd. It's still a 1-2 for us. Ocon is not going to trouble us. There we go. A 1:42.070. Not quite the quickest time of the weekend. That was the 1:42.044 set by car 4.4 in Q1. But it was good enough for pole. So we have second practice now. And this is all about just bringing up the car part knowledge and the track knowledge. So it's going to be just long runs here for both cars. Will Max ever be a third? No, because he's Dutch. He's not part of the British Empire, therefore he can't receive the Order of the British Empire.
And avoid all curbs. Avoid all curbs. Understood.
We did get 100 set up on both cars. Excellent stuff. So, I have the screenshots. Let me just pull that up on screen while this is running in the background, so I can write those values in. So it was 1.5, 10. Two 8. 3.05. Okay. There we go. In the book. You're a sir, but yeah, you're a sir with a small s. Evening, Kari. Andy misses Seb. Well, I mean, the rumours are that he might possibly be thinking about coming back. I don't know if he will or not. He's certainly got a rank on him that he leaves just as the Aston Martin turns into a decent car. It's not been able to sustain that level of form. It does seem a little reminiscent of Haas when they brought Magnussen back, and his first race of the season he got big points and everyone's like, oh, okay, Mag's amazing. No, it's just they had a car that was really well developed for the start of the season and then wasn't developed any further and sank like a stone throughout the rest of the season. Who would Seb come back to? Well, I suppose if the unthinkable happens and Stroll walks away at the end of this season, he might. So
that's the checkered flag.
He might have his old seat. Well, I say his old seat back. Alonso's got his seat, but he might end up back in his old team again alongside Alonso. That'd be an interesting driver lineup: Seb and Alonso. Maybe he'll find his way into AlphaTauri, Red Bull. I mean, who knows what's going to happen to Perez? And with Ricciardo breaking his hands, that has really kind of put the kibosh on the plan to give Ricciardo a long run in the AlphaTauri with a view to taking Checo's place. Who knows? Can you imagine maybe they step up Tsunoda next season to Red Bull, which would be the worst thing in the world for Tsunoda, but there you go. And have Seb and Ricciardo at AlphaTauri. Who knows? I mean, I don't know if they are going to, if Seb is going to come back, but there's a possibility. Rumours have been out there for a couple of months that he's considering, investigating a return. When is Audi joining, and are they going to be their own team? Audi have got an agreement in place with Sauber, who are currently running under the Alfa Romeo name. The Alfa Romeo deal ends at the end of this season, so they will revert to just Sauber for the next 2 years as Audi increase their stake in the team. And then they will become Audi outright at the start of 2026 with their own engine. So yeah, they'll be a works team. Audi are stepping up their ownership percentage over the next couple of seasons. I think they go up to a 25% stake at the end of this season.
This weekend, it's something a little bit different, as the Grand Prix grid is decided by more racing. in today's eagerly anticipated sprint. Of course, this is the first sprint of the season, adding an extra challenge for the drivers and their teams. But as ever, in Formula One, an extra challenge is an extra opportunity.
Of course, when it comes to a sprint, it's not just about setting the grid for the Grand Prix. The drivers will be fighting hard to gain valuable championship points.
So let's see then how the teams tackle today's sprint, here in Baku.
Okay, let's see. What tyres do we want to run for the sprints? Soft. I don't think there's any real question of that. We've got plenty of soft tyres available. We are going to just run like that. Let's check gearbox levels, 48% and 48%. That'll be fine, but we might switch them over for the main race. We'll see how that goes. Let's go sprinting.
Our sprint today sees the drivers take on 17 laps of the Baku city circuit.
Expect to see plenty making the most of Baku's long, wide main straight. That's going to be their best chance to overtake and secure a strong result.
So then, it's time to see who wants that victory the most. Now's the time for the sprint, here in Baku. And it's lights out, and away we go.
Okay, we're just holding off on the battery for now, which is why... Oh, wow, we are really getting swamped. We're going to push at the end of lap 2. So we just have to try and hold position as best we can. Do you not get a second qualifying? No, because the rules for sprint qualifying changed after they'd already been implemented into the game. So while they have updated the point system, they are using the 2022 sprint system. So it was, you know, free practice 1, then sprint qualifying, then free practice 2 on the Saturday, then the sprint race, and then the sprint qualifying would set the grid for the main race on Sunday. That was last year's sprint settings. It was also only 3 points for a win, 2 points for second, 1 point for third, and that was it. This year they changed the format and made it a bit more self-enclosed, so you have practice 1 and practice 2 on Friday, sprint quali and sprint race. No, sorry, practice 1 on Friday, and then main race qualifying on Friday afternoon. And then Saturday was sprint quali, then the sprint race, and then Sunday was the main race. And that's how they're doing it this year. And they also changed it so that it's 8 points for first, going down a point for each position. So 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're going down to 8 for 1 point. Looks like we're kind of throwing George to the wolves here, but we're not. We're running him exactly the same settings as Lewis. It's just Lewis has managed to handle the traffic a little bit better, hold them up a bit more. We're going to sprint both drivers at the end of this lap. Give them the chance to overtake and maybe pull away. This will hurt George a little bit more because he's been overtaken more times, so his confidence has dipped. Now we're going to sprint the drivers.
Discussion.
Understood.
Use the overtake.
Yep.
There's a red dot in your room, care to explain? It's not me you need to ask about. No, it could be somebody else. Lawson will be in F1 next season. Maybe. Possibly. He's certainly got bit of a lucky break, no pun intended, with a chance to show what he can do. I don't know if he'll be in F1 next season or whether he'll go back to F2. He's currently racing in Super Formula in Japan. But yeah, maybe Lawson will be able to show enough in these few races that he's going to have, because Ricciardo will be back before the end of the season. Right, AI should be just about out of battery now.
Good work.
Audi could be great as they know all about the hybrid system. Well, hopefully they'll be competitive from the start. Don't think they'll be, winning races in their first season, but hopefully they'll be a regular in the points and then step it up from there. Evening, Marcel. Perez is proving a bit stubborn here. George needs this overtake. Don't know if Russell was close enough to get DRS. No, he wasn't, so Perez might try and fight back in the braking zone.
Charge the pack.
Copy.
She'll keep these tyres in good nick.
Let's get into some management. Turn 5.
Copy.
And just don't think about getting the pack back up.
Understood. Push and hold it, overtake.
Yep.
So happy to push now.
Copy.
Okay, Russell is a little off the pace. Yeah, those overtakes definitely hurt. Maybe I should have just sprinted both drivers right from the line. See if we can get George back into range of Alonso and Leclerc.
Let's just manage these tyres.
Yeah, copy.
seem to be getting somewhere with Russell at last. And we are very close to breaking Perez. Let's see if we can actually do that here.
Happy to start reducing that management.
Tough with no battery.
Yeah, copy.
No, we haven't got enough pace without battery to pull away from
Reduce your speed.
Perez.
Copy.
Alright, so it's very much going to be a damage limitation race for Russell then, by the look of it.
And just charge the pack.
Those tyres to cool down.
And if we could just drop back a bit.
Copy.
Just make sure that Leclerc doesn't pull away too quickly. Tyres starting to cool down now. George in danger of getting dropped. Make sure he actually stays in range. Oh, Perez almost lost the DRS there. Just about stayed in. Might not get it on the next corner though. You're sensing a bleak night, Farah. Maybe. Long way to go yet. Still got 11 laps of the sprint to go to see what happens to George, and then we've got 50 odd laps of the main race as well. You know what it's like for safety cars around here. Right, looks like we have dropped Perez. We should be able to get past Alonso and Leclerc without too much trouble, but when will we have enough time to get back onto Verstappen for second again? That is the question. It's not going to hurt George too much in the championship standings. He'll still be in the lead. He'll only lose 4 points to Lewis if it stays like this. If he obviously gets back up to third, he'll only lose 2 points to Lewis. again, running that risk of getting dropped. It's tough trying to balance charging up with staying in range. Might just have been dropped, I'm not sure. No, we just made it. Okay. A little bit of a tyre advantage over Alonso, but not a huge amount. And Leclerc's on the mediums, which means he's going to be a bit quick, potentially, at the end of the sprint. Hamilton looking pretty comfortable right now. Nearly 2.5 seconds clear. Gap to Alonso, well, between Alonso and Max is getting bigger. That's not good for George. Really try and micromanage this here. More than I would like to. Side by side in front. Need to try and get in front of the Ferrari if we can. Tire temps creeping up again. So that's the dirty air.
So happy to push now.
Right, let's see if we can make a move on Charles here.
Just show me what you got then.
Okay. So we roll.
Nice job.
All right, we got him up to fourth. Let George cook, not George in chat. Too late, sorry. Mr. Thomas is no more.
charge the pack.
Copy.
Right, we need to get some battery back in the car quickly here. We dropped Leclerc already. Alonso is blocking the overtake. That's fine. Means we can get DRS on the next main. Just gonna have a look. Use a bit of battery to push that through. Here we go.
Push and hold it, overtake.
George up
Yep.
to third. Let's keep pushing. Let's see if we can get onto the back of Max.
And happy to pick up the pushing level.
Yeah, copy.
Can at least break away from Alonso. The gap is 2.2 seconds. We've got 5 laps to go. And I do get the feeling that Verstappen is on a build right now. He's recharging, which means if we're going to get onto him, we need to do it quick, because he will try and break away again soon. I think we just about managed it. Alright, oops.
Overtake is available.
Alright, copy that.
Need to start reducing that management.
Copy.
So now we got 2 or 3 laps to sit behind Max, try and get the car cooled down, the fuel balanced, battery rebuilt, and then sprint past Max back into second at the end of the race. Had to work hard for this one. Should have just let them both go flying at the start. We'll remember that for the next sprint. Make sure that Max doesn't drop us in the final sector. getting there. Here's Max trying to pull away. I'm not sure. Don't think so. Tyres are cooled down enough. Let's push those back up a touch. Almost got the fuel back to 0. So Max might be trying to break away. Just give George a little bit of extra tyre. We missed out on DRS here, but we should get it on the next area.
And 2 more laps.
Gotta be close. I don't think we got it there either. Max is trying to stay ahead. We didn't get the DRS again. Alright, we've got enough battery now, I think, to be able to sprint. Yeah, we don't talk about Monaco. Right, here goes George, making a lunge. Max is going to get the DRS.
Nice job. Currently P2.
Hold on, George, hold on. Close him out. There we go. Right, let's slap that into harvest because I need to save the last little bit of battery for the main straight. I've reached 16k, have I? Nice. Yeah, my subscription numbers hit 15 grand, 15k a few years back when I was doing regular farm sim content, and then I just kind of went dark for over a year. And I haven't really done anything farm sim wise, and a lot of people never came back to the channel. But like I said, I don't do this for a living, I do it for fun. It's just something to keep me occupied. Can we hold Max off to the line? Yes, we can. Just.
What an amazing drive.
This is an amazing result for everybody.
Checkered flag is out. So that's P2.
Cars are good today. guys.
Well done.
Yeah, it wasn't just the points, Farah. It was both cars stopping at exactly the same point, like meters from the end of the race.
And what a magnificent
Because I misjudged
sprint
it by
win for Lewis Hamilton.
100 grams of fuel.
And what a well-deserved P1 finish that was. Absolutely outstanding.
Oh, there we go. We got George back up into second, so he only loses 1 point to Lewis in the championship standings.
The time has almost come for our drivers to fight it out wheel to wheel. Race day has arrived.
Baku has been the scene for some major on-track battles, like Vettel and Hamilton fighting for the lead back in 2017. Will we see more drama this year, I wonder? And the sky is looking grey and cloudy today. An effective tyre strategy could prove very valuable as the race plays out.
Well, whatever happens, it's sure to be a tremendous race day here at the Azerbaijan Grand Prix.
So, race day. That is our strategy. There we go. We're going to take 3 laps of fuel out. We're going to push them a little bit at the start. But again, we're going to try and hold the battery back if we can.
Final checks are being carried out on the grid, and it won't be long until we get underway. Our attention shifts to Lewis Hamilton and what he can produce in this race.
They've got a fantastic opportunity starting on pole, but can they carry it through to the end?
But remember, anything can happen in Formula One. Here we go with the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. It's lights out and away we go.
All right, Verstappen on softs. He is going to be a problem. And then Alonso and Perez both on mediums. They are slotted in ahead of Charles Leclerc. That will help us a bit. Did I check the gearboxes? No, I didn't. Completely forgot all about the gearboxes. Ah, they should be fine. Max and Lewis side by side. Max getting into the lead wouldn't be the worst thing in the world if we can stay with him, because then we can run at soft tyre pace on the mediums.
Yeah, I'm a sitting duck, man.
Quack, quack.
Look at this, so head down now.
Push and hold, overtake.
Copy.
So normal rules apply because we are in a fight at the moment. We are going to be instigating temporary team orders. But as I say, we can run with Verstappen while he's got the advantage of those soft tyres and then get away from him before the pit stops. Yeah, the race is ours. Because we'll then have softs against his mediums and we'll be able to stay well clear of him.
Use the overtake.
Understood.
So we DRS this lap. Currently,
Right, did we get the DRS off the Verstappen? I don't think we did. Oh, we did. Nice.
Lift and coast.
Understood.
Let's just work on getting that pack back up.
Yep.
Right, we've broken away from Perez. Russell needs to be a little bit closer. And we are going to need to push Lewis just a little bit more. Max should be out of battery about now. So we should hopefully be able to reel him in without having to push the tyres or the fuel. I would like to get the fuel saving started pretty soon. You've been AFK, what happens? Max is on softs, he jumped both our cars at the start, but apart from that, you haven't missed anything.
Charge that pack.
Understood.
Just think about lift and coast efficiency. Okay. And just have a think about getting the pack back up.
Yep.
So you just stay online.
There we go. Right, so we just need to basically hold position behind Max for the next 5 laps or so.
Just charge the pack.
So just about staying in range. Got to keep balancing the battery like this while we're fuel saving until Max's tyres start to burn a bit. Even VXR. Does Baku not suit my car as much as the other races? No, it's not that. It's just different tyre strategy. Max is on softs, we're on mediums.
And here we've got a yellow flag.
Alright, Yuki having a coming together with, is that Hulkenberg? I'm going to say that's Yuki's fault there. Yes, you did fuck up there, Yuki.
As for the team back in the...
And it was Hulkenberg. Oh, Hulkenberg got the penalty. Well, maybe it wasn't Yuki's fuck up then.
So happy to push now.
Yeah.
Right, and we close down Max before we get to the detection point. Yes, we can, just.
Just reduce your speed.
Let's just leave him in top
Copy.
up.
Yeah, we just need to make sure that we don't fall off the cliff on that tyre.
And we've got the gap up to about 4 seconds over Perez now.
And happy to pick up the pushing level.
Copy.
Yes, the debris particle effects is quite nice. What would be really nice is if you had the chance of maybe getting a random puncture if you drove over it. But it's not actual, debris. It's just a little visual flourish, unfortunately. Hamilton looking for the overtake. Don't want that to happen just yet. Now would be nice though.
Let's just manage these tyres.
Oh, we've got a VSC.
Need more power.
Oh, it's a full safety car. Oh, okay. That changes things. Oh, the Ferraris have hit each other. Rule number 1, you never hit your teammate. Oh, that's bad. Yeah. That's Italian for Carlos, you wanker. Oh, it's a red flag. Oh, okay. pause because we can't go into this screen, which is the really annoying thing. You can't activate this tactics, strategy screen inside red flag conditions. I don't know why. That is just a really bad oversight. We're going to go to a soft strategy. Right, that in itself is 11 seconds faster than the original strategy. It's 10 seconds faster than the strategy we were on without, even factoring in for a pit stop, which that does. So this is definitely going to be a very quick race for us now, because Max was on soft, so he has to change to a different compound, which he will do here. Whether he goes to mediums or hards, I'm not sure. He'll probably go hards and try and go to the end on hards. In fact, I think anyone who started on mediums is probably going to do that. Sorry, anyone who started on softs is probably going to do that. And he was on mediums. Might do the same, actually. There we go. So, strategies are set.
It's not going the way the team had hoped today.
Even the simulator YouTuber. So how badly the Ferrari fucked themselves? Very badly. They're both out. No. No Ferrari in this race. And this will sort out a big chunk of our fuel deficit as well.
Here we go once
And
more.
the worst thing for
The
Hulkenberg
track is ready,
is that
and
if
so
he's
are the drivers.
switching to a one-stop onto hards now, he won't be able to serve that penalty
and
until
away we
the
go.
end of the Grand Prix. So Max switched to medium, so he is probably going to have to two-stop then. Oh, we need to up the pace settings because we are
Happy to start reducing that management.
running the wrong ones.
Just push it.
Oh man, Russell's dropped down to 5th. Perez is on hard tyres. We got caught out there. I forgot as well, you can't change your pace settings either, which again, it's really a massive oversight that you can't change your strategy or your pace setting commands for your drivers while they're in the garage for red flag conditions. Just seems like a massive oversight. What we also need to do is make sure that Hamilton starts defending again. There we go. And really going for the overtake. And George needs to go for the overtake as well.
Just show me what you've got then.
Coming.
Lewis is going to be all over Hamilton, over Max here. We've already pulled out a 1.5 seconds to Perez. Well, almost a 1.5 seconds. So anyone who's on soft tyres now could be on the same strategy as us. So that's Stroll, Alonso, Norris, Ocon, Bottas, Albon, Joe, Schumacher, Ricciardo, Piastri. Perez, it looks like he's the only one who's going for the one-stop. Everyone else, including the medium runners, well, the softs are definitely going to have to stop again. The medium runners may have to stop again. I'm imagining they probably will have to stop again. As Lewis gets into the lead.
Let's take a closer look. Now we're with Lewis Hamilton here. The
And now he's got a lap to sprint before DRS gets activated.
And we've got a new race leader.
And we've got to try and get Russell. ahead of Stroll, Perez, and then Verstappen. It's not going to be easy. So already it's looking like we're going to say goodbye to power pretty soon. But anything can happen. There's still 42 laps to go, including this one. Could get another safety car, could get a red flag, could crash. Okay, Alonso going defensive. George looking to go around the outside. Can't quite stick the move. And battery is becoming an issue now. Trying to go side by side through those sweeping S's there. That's brave. Or foolish. Combination of both, maybe.
DRS has been enabled.
You are the fastest man on track.
George gets his wheels alongside. Perez dives to the inside to cover off Alonso, which gives us free run to overtake both of them. Superb move from Russell there.
Nice one.
Yeah, nice one.
Let's keep this up.
Now look, here we head into turn 2. The opportunity's there. Really, what fantastic driving that was.
Okay, seeing a bit hard up. Right, just 1.5 seconds off the back of Max. Got to get past him quickly. Let's start saving Lewis's tyres and battery again.
Getting that pack back up.
Let's put George into top-up mode. We'll keep his tyres pushed though,
Yeah, roger.
just to get into range.
So we're low on battery at the moment.
It's going to be touch and go as to whether we can actually get DRS off Max, because we're not going to have battery out of this final corner. Ooh, it's close. I think we're just about going to get it. Yes, we did. Right, let's cool those tyres down.
If we could just drop back a bit.
Yeah, copy, all good.
So Stroll is up to 4th, ahead of Perez and Alonso. I was going to say, where are the Ferraris? But they killed each other. Hulkenberg just has no pace right now. He has really hurt himself. Must be some damage on his car. He's on softs right now, and yet he's outside of the DRS and falling back from Tsunoda. And he's got a 5-second penalty when he has to switch those tyres as well. So yeah, it's not looking good at all for Nico Hulkenberg here. cool those tyres down a touch.
Just reduce your speed.
Yeah, agree.
Andy remembers the days of me playing Farm Sim. Yeah, they were a while back. When the Platinum Edition comes out in May, possibly, but giving it a go. But not really in my plans. I like to move on from that franchise now. Perez has been passed by Alonso. Perez, don't forget, the only driver on hard tyres, so it's probably the only one who can actually make this, to the end of the Grand Prix. Whether he does or not is another matter. And he probably won't be going to quit at the end of his stint either. I suppose it depends how well he can hang with the cars that are faster than him for the next 10-15 laps.
Push and hold, overtake.
Alright, we're going to try and sprint Russell past Max and then break him clear. He sells a dummy to Max, feints left and then goes to the right. It's going to go straight around the outside of him. There we go, clean as you like.
So we roll.
Nice job.
And then we will cut him loose. Let's just make sure we get him clear first, before we sort of marry him up to Hamilton's pace and lead them to it. There we go, that should be enough now. It'll be over 2 seconds clear by the time he crosses the line, I think. And that's got him to within 3 seconds of Lewis. So now it's a straight race between the two of them. Their tyres are in pretty similar conditions, fuel levels are pretty similar, battery levels are pretty similar. It's down to them now. See what happens. Obviously Lewis does have a little bit of an advantage, but it's not a huge one. And we do have another round of pit stops to go and potential safety cars still to come. Let's have a look down the order. Stroll and Alonso fighting at the moment. They are pulling away from Perez. They're both on soft tyres, so they're probably both on the same strategy we're on now. I've come away from my mic. No, I'm just talking a little bit quieter. Nothing to be quite so excited about right now. Let's see what is going on up and down the grid. Ocon and Gasly are fighting as well. Another teammate skirmish going on. So there's potential for the Aston Martins and the Alpines to do a Ferrari and just take both cars out in a single lock-up here. Although it does look like Ocon is probably trying to pull away from Gasly right now. He is half a second quicker. There is a tyre difference as well, so Ocon, if he can break away, will break out of DRS, he will pull away. We can do it this lap. Let's go back to Alonso. Moment, Russell is lapping a little bit slower than Lewis. A couple of tenths. Go ahead and get that fuel saving sorted out now while we're in the clear. And if we do get a safety car, then we can always just burn off the excess fuel that we pick up from that. Oh, you remember me from the days of playing Train Sim? Ah, I missed I missed for a second, it was hidden behind those emoji pop-up thing in the chat window. Yes, Train Sim. It was a novel thing, but it wasn't what I was hoping it was going to be. And I kind of got a little bit bored of it. I did consider maybe trying Train Sim 3 when it was on sale earlier, just to see the differences, but I figured probably not going to get much out of it before I lose interest again. So Rardub has returned. And Hamilton's still about 3/10 of a lap faster than Russell. I think this is probably Hamilton's race as things stand. As Alonso finally... Oh, that looked like contact. That was close. But Alonso finally gets ahead of his teammate. He was quick in quali and in the sprint. Can he catch and pass Max? Magnussen just jumped past Albon. The Alphas are doing quite well actually. Bottas in 12th, Zhou in 14th. Hulkenberg all the way back there. He must have some damage to his suspension or chassis. Wing looks intact, both front and rear. Maybe the underfloor's got some damage, but that car is definitely not performing as it should do. Yeah, there is damage to that car, just not sure what. So yeah, Hulkenberg's race is done. He may as well just, yeah, if it was me, I'd retire the car. But the AI doesn't do that, so Hulkenberg will just keep going around and will become a bit of a mobile roadblock that we'll have to traverse every now and again. Stroll looking for a lunge. think Alonso has just about got him covered, but I wouldn't be surprised to see Stroll lunging here. Not quite. About 1.9 seconds to Max. See what the gap is at the end of the lap and see what the lap time is. Russell now nearly 4 seconds behind Lewis. Yeah, it looks as though Lewis is going to just walk away with this one. Alonso is closing down Verstappen. Tenths of a second, the difference in lap time there between Alonso and Max, and that's with Alonso having to drive defensively as well to hold back Stroll, who is probably going to get the pass from here. Yeah, there he goes. And that brings the pair of them a little bit closer to Max. Perez has dropped behind Norris now. Norris has jumped him. Gasly and Ocon still scrapping away. Norris up in 6th place. This is good for Norris, because McLaren have been nowhere so far this season. I don't think they've scored a point yet. Let's have a look. No, they scored 2 points. They're on for another 8 if it finishes like this. What if those 2 points are from the sprint? A bit of a quiet afternoon for us. If things carry on like this, we don't even need to fuel save anymore. We can stop doing that. We'll naturally save half a kilo over the next 32 laps. Also right on the cusp of DRS. Did he get it? Yes, he did. So now Max is under pressure. And immediately Alonso dives up the inside, trying to find a way through. We'll have to go the long way around here at the castle. Can't get through, he's going to have to tuck in. But this should be an easy overtake on the main straight. And look how Stroll is dropping back now that he does not have DRS advantage over Alonso. Max might be pushing a little bit, trying to get away from Alonso, which he's not going to be able to do, because the gap to Russell has come down. I think we're going to see an improved lap time from Max here. Still not going to be enough. Alonso's going to swoop past him. Yeah, there we go. 147.5 for Max and a 146.4 for Alonso. Ooh, that is quick. Right, maybe this race isn't as done and dusted as I thought it might be. Alonso still has the DRS. But is he out of battery? Because he hasn't completed that move yet. And now, surely. No, Max still has battery. He's fighting back. Max stays ahead. And the gap is just 2 seconds. Got to step up the pace a bit? Yes, I think we do. Give both drivers just a little bit more tyre for a few laps.
Copy.
I'm not worried about the fastest lap yet. We're going to go for that proper once we get our pit stops out of the way in about 10 laps, 15 laps. Maybe not 15. About 10 laps time. And Max has dropped Alonso. Max is definitely pushing hard now. He's got the gap down to 1.4 seconds. .46.7 for Max. This is a quick lap. Right, we're going to push George onto the back of Lewis.
Push and hold, overtake.
Yeah, copy.
And Alonso under pressure from Stroll again.
Just need to make sure keep these tyres in good nick.
Understood.
So we're going to go medium overtaking for both of our drivers because we don't want them to take extraordinary risks. In fact, I'm actually going to get them to go into low overtake. It's a cautious approach. They can fight, but I don't want them to do anything stupid.
Copy.
Need to look after the car.
Yep.
And to counteract that, we're going to put them into rarely defend as well. So they stick to the racing line. So safe overtakes only.
So you just stay online.
Understood.
Charge the pack.
There we go. So gap's back down to 2.5 seconds. Again, we're going to leave them to it for now. And I'm going to grab a drink. Right, I am going to have to invest in getting a water bottle up here because it's just too hot now. Going through my drinks fridge way too quickly. Barry, you're still with us, so I thought you might have done a run by now. Right, let's take stock of the situation. Russell 3/10 behind Hamilton and losing a tenth or 2 or 3 per lap. Verstappen in third, currently lapping about the same pace as Hamilton. I think we're at that point with the tyres. Yep, getting close to 60%. Then we've got Alonso and Stroll, who are still battling for position. And Norris and Perez scrapping away. As again, I think Norris's tyres might be starting to dip. Actually, Norris's tyres are in pretty good shape. Gasly and Ocon finally have a little bit of separation between them. The medium's now the faster tyre, it would seem. Gasly has broken away from his teammate and is nearly 3 seconds clear, nearly. Albon a bit further back, leading up Magnussen and Bottas. Mick Schumacher not too far behind with Piastri in his DRS, then Zhou, then Ricciardo. It's all pretty close all the way back. And then poor old Yuki, kind of been left behind by everybody as Albon boxes. It's a little earlier than I was expecting for a pit stop. Going on to mediums. It's a decent stop. And Hulkenberg's still going round, even though he should have retired by now. I'd have retired the car. There's just no point running it when it's just not even competitive enough to catch the next slowest car. It's just wasting engine life and gearbox life and ERS life at this stage. Right, Max pushing again. But also Russell's tyres starting to give up. We'll be boxing soon. We're approaching our pit windows, so let's give these guys a nice big chunk of tyre.
Understood.
For the next 3 laps or so. You're here until about lap 45. Okay. We're going to pit Russell first because that will help maybe bring them back together again. Actually, no, we'll box Lewis first and we'll leave Russell on a full push for an extra lap. That might bring them closer together. There's Alonso and Stroll still scrapping side by side. State and Norris's tyres in 79%. Yeah, he can easily go to the end, I think. Right, so yeah, a bit of a push from Max there, 147.6. See what our boys do across the line. They're not dropping Max. 147.2 for Lewis. 147.4. 147.5. Yeah, less than a tenth of a second in it. But we are all pulling away quite comfortably from the Aston Martins. I do wonder, let's have a look. Verstappen is at 72%. He could make those tyres go to the end. I think they won't be very quick at the end, but he could make them do it. I think more likely we'll see him box for softs, you know, before they fall off the cliff. Probably with about 15 laps to go, maybe 12 laps to go. Gap between Lewis and Russell back up to 4 seconds. Yet Russell just doesn't have Lewis's pace this weekend. They're both at the same confidence level. They're both getting, well, actually Russell's getting a slightly higher bonus. He's getting +4 to his cornering, as opposed to flat 3s for Lewis. But Lewis's base stats for braking and cornering just a lot better. And a circuit like this, where it's all about braking and cornering, that accounts for all the 0.3 of a second we're seeing. So it's going to need a mistake from Lewis for Russell to win this, I think. Oh, Max is boxing now. Wow, I did not expect that. Okay, we have to box Russell at the end of this lap then. Otherwise he's going to be vulnerable to the undercut.
Box.
Max is going for mediums. Where's he going to come out? He's going to come out in a fight with Gasly. Come on, Gasly, get in front of him. Come on, Gasly, before he warms his tyres up. Come on, Gasly. Ah! Maybe I'll get him on the start-finish straight, but we'll see. So we're not going to take the risk of a double stack spot, because that, if it goes wrong for Lewis, will hurt Russell as well. Speaking of,
let's just manage these tyres.
Copy. So, box.
it's clean. 2.1. It's quick as well. That might be the quickest stop so far.
Yeah, just to keep an eye on your mirrors for cars coming.
There aren't that many stops actually at the moment. There's Max. No, that's Perez. Whew. And that's Norris. Max just coming around corner 1 there in the background. There's Max, and he's still ahead of Gasly. So Russell's tucked up behind Perez. That's not bad actually, because it gives me a chance to get a little bit more battery back into Russell's car. Hamilton's battery's full. Put him into neutral now. We've already dropped Norris. Well, yeah, just about. Russell's tyres will be up to temperature very quickly in the dirty air of Perez.
Yeah, we just need to make sure that we don't fall off a cliff on that tyre.
Yep.
Yeah, copy. Charge the
So,
pack.
Hamilton needs a clean stop. And he gets it at 2.0. That is the new fastest stop of the race.
Traffic on exit.
There go the Astons.
Just show me what you've got then.
Okay.
Ah, come on, George. Alex Albon sets a new fastest lap of a 146.2. Will be obliterating that in short order. And Hulkenberg is now a minute off the back of Albon. Right, so when are the Astons going to box? Because we are rolling up onto the back of them pretty quickly. Alonso and Stroll both staying out another lap. Russell's rear wing opens up. Norris dives into the box. That's going to free up Verstappen. Russell thinking about a look. Ducks back into the slipstream. He's going to have a lunge. Ah, just short. Thought he might be able to do it, even though he's in charge mode. I thought the grip of those tyres would be enough. Apparently not. We'll make sure he gets him on the next lap. Alonso breaking away from Stroll. Hamilton almost on the back of Stroll. Perez is up to pace. Alright, George should get him now. Wide open. Neither Aston stopping. Gasly boxes. And this surely is the moment for George. There we go. He's going to complete that move. And through goes. Right, let's sprint him onto the back of Lewis.
Push and hold, overtake.
Copy.
Oh,
Over to you,
Piastri.
Karun.
We see Piastri's team standing by. Ah, but the car isn't released properly.
Max is now in striking range of Perez. Still no pit stops for the Astons. I've just realised Lewis is stuck in... Whoops. Did the same thing I did to him as I did to George.
It's impossible to follow.
Just do the best you can.
There we go. Instantly looks to make the move. Russell has the fastest lap right now, but it's not a secure fastest lap. Once I get the two drivers together, we'll charge Lewis up. No, sorry, charge Russell up, and then we'll let them both go for the fastest lap.
Nice work, Lewis.
Okay, it's tricky. We're trying to be fair to both drivers, give them equal opportunity. Max got past Perez very quickly. Right. Are we going to see Alonso box? You would think he would box first out of the two Astons. His tyres are the worst. He's staying out another lap. Stroll boxes.
So Stroll has pitted.
Right, so Hamilton's going to go for his fastest lap on the next lap. Assuming he stays ahead of Alonso. Which he should do. He's got a massive disparity of grip and pace. Russell in peak confidence right now. Let's get him onto the back of Alonso, see if he can pass Alonso before Alonso boxes. Really push that up to maximum confidence. He needs all the help he can get in terms of just pace against Lewis this weekend. Right, here goes Lewis for his fastest lap attempt.
Okay. And think about left lifting coast.
Yep.
I'm still on rarely defend. Yeah, that's fine. Just means I'm going to stick to the racing line. I'm going to force my opponent to go offline.
Good job.
And like I say, there's such a pace and grip disparity between the two cars in terms of Russell and Alonso that he'll be able to hold Alonso off. As long as I don't hamper him on the DRS. Or the ERS, sorry. There we go. Move done. So, Lewis is into peak confidence. He is purple in the first. Russell into maximum peak confidence now with that overtake. Just needs to charge his car up so he can go for his fastest lap attempt. Lewis has dipped slightly out of very high confidence, but he'll get back into peak if he goes purple in the next sector. There we go. Just sneaks back into peak. And even in charge mode, Alonso has been dropped by a second by Russell. So there we go.
You are the fastest on track.
A 1:43.6. That is very quick. That's 2.6 seconds faster than Albon's previous fastest lap, which was a 1:46.2. So, Lewis, go into conserve.
Increase in lift and coast.
Cool those tyres down, put them into harvest.
Make sure keep these tyres in good nick.
And we'll have enough battery for Russell to have his sprint at the end of this lap. His confidence slipped just a touch as he's on a slow pace right now. One thing I've noticed with your confidence is that it just naturally degrades as you're racing unless you're consistently setting new personal bests or getting overtakes. It will continually gradually degrade back down towards its starting level. So here goes George for his fastest lap attempt. He's starting his flying lap already almost maxed out on peak confidence, so that will do him the power of good. There's Max in the background, 4.2, I think, going to be across the line. Yeah, 4.2. Let's see what it is at the end of the next lap. First split coming up round the corner. And it's purple for George. Can he do it? Can he take the fastest lap away from Lewis?
Pick up the pace.
Second split coming up. It's green. So it's a personal best, but it's not a purple. And he's out of battery just as we start the acceleration into the final corner. So might hurt his chance.
Charge the pack.
It's going to be close. Can't quite do it. Just didn't have enough battery to complete it at the end there. That's a bit of a shame for him. But both drivers are pretty close again. Just over 2 seconds. Got a nice healthy gap to Max. Nearly 8 seconds. So once again, we shall leave them to it and see what happens. George's confidence, there you see it just degraded just a little bit there. George's confidence is still incredibly high. He's in medium overtake, rare defense, that's okay. Hamilton, medium and rare, that's fine. Is Russell in? Nope, he's not. I did turn him loose, okay. So yeah, there we go. That's our drivers free to engage each other until the end of the Grand Prix, although I don't think George has got the pace to get past Hamilton tonight. Let's have a look further down the order. We've got Max about 8 seconds behind, and then Perez another 8.5 seconds behind. Those tyres got to be starting to struggle a little bit. Yep, 65%. He's going to be vulnerable to both of the Astons, who are still scrapping with each other. And then it's Gasly and Norris, both on softs. That's going to be close. Stroll is on the medium tyres. So Alonso, if he can break away, should drop Stroll. Let's see. Albon is trying to hold off Magnussen. A couple of seconds between them at the moment, but Magnussen on those softs against the mediums of Albon. That's potentially going to give Magnussen the advantage. Hulkenberg is still going round. Well, I don't think he's stopped yet, has he? Oh, he has. He just stopped before everyone else. So we're looking at both of the Aston Martins getting past Perez here. Don't think they're going to have the pace to catch and pass Max though. It's a little bit weird. We're spending more time watching the Aston Martins than our own cars because this is where the action's going to be. Not just right now, but for the rest of the race. You know, as they fight with each other and catch and pass Perez, and then maybe try and catch Max. If Alonso can get clear, he's got the pace to do it. It's just whether or not he can get clear. Stroll is going to get DRS on Perez here. Stroll trying to dive up the inside. Gets through. And completes the move. Well, let's see what kind of pace Stroll's got then while he's now in clear air. I don't think he's going to be threatened that much by Perez. Perez might not even be able to keep DRS. No, he is. As we go over the detection point. Even with DRS, I don't think Perez has got enough to actually get back past Stroll here. There's too much of a disparity in the pace of those tyres right now. And it brings Alonso back into the picture. He was just a little bit out of range. He's certainly nice and close now. Let's watch the action for the back of Stroll. We're continuing to stretch our gap over Max. It's up to 10 seconds now. Yeah, this season's going to be a bit of a walk in the park, I think. If I'd realised how competitive we were going to be at the start of the season, I probably would have switched teams after just one season. But I still want that Constructors' Trophy, so yeah, we'll walk this season. It'll be interesting to see what goes on down the rest of the grid, and then, as I say, it'll shake the order up a bit for the rest of the grid as the season progresses. We'll see what the regulation changes are going to be for next year, and we'll go somewhere where we're going to be challenged, and we're going to have to, really work hard to get the car into a competitive shape. As Perez is close enough this time to make the move. Can he hold it though? I think Perez might be trying to push slightly. Alonso could capitalise here if he plays this right. Maybe not. And this is actually giving Perez a little bit of breathing room as Stroll is going defensive against Alonso here. Could we possibly see both Astons swoop past Perez? I don't think so. Let's see lap time. 1:46.3. Yeah, Perez did push last lap. And Russell's lost 0.4 of a second to Hamilton on that last lap. So yeah, I think that race is done. Gap's back up to 3.5 seconds. This is where the drama is right now. And we're running out of laps for Alonso to try and get on the back of Verstappen as well. They've still got a tyre advantage, but it's not a massive one. And right now, they're struggling to get past Perez. So then they're not going to make up those 8 seconds in the remaining 8 laps. So it looks like Max is going to hold on for another podium. But a chance for some really good points for Aston Martin still on offer, with 4th and 5th up for grabs. And there goes Stroll. Where's Alonso? Oh, he's tucked in behind. Stroll needs to push if he's going to break away. Otherwise, he's just going to keep getting caught by Perez again. He needs to actually push now that he's clear. Because half a second ain't going to cut it. Perez's tyres are under 60%. That's going to hurt him. And he's going to have to drive a little bit defensively because Alonso's getting antsy. Just going to stay in DRS range by about 1/10 of a second there. Here comes Alonso. He's going to throw it down the inside in braking into turn 1. He gets him, and he should have DRS to Stroll. He does. Can he swoop past Lance? No, Lance is blocking it. But both of the Astons are now past Perez. And look how much time it's cost them. Just that one lap has cost them about... Well, those 2 laps have cost them about 3.5 seconds. Oh, Perez is pushing. Sorry, Verstappen's pushing. That's why. He's got the gap down to under 8 seconds. 1:44.9. Yeah, that's a quick lap for Max. He is trying to close that gap down to Russell. He can try all he wants. He's not going to get him. Oh, we got a VSC. Who has crashed?
Reduce your speed.
Yeah, copy.
I think it's Tsunoda. Yep, Tsunoda's out. Oh, this might become a full safety.
Right then, we can take a look now. This one is involving Yuki Tsunoda.
I was saying before the race that he's shown some decent pace and he's had a horrible weekend here.
Surefire way to put a dampener
That's
on
some
your
expensive
weekend.
damage to that Williams.
And just like that, the hopes of the team start to dwindle.
That's some definite damage to some of the powertrain components there.
We saw the contact. So maybe debris.
It's saying just the VSC. I thought we might potentially go full safety.
Driver okay.
Is anyone going to dive into the pits? Oh, he's still pootling around. "45 seconds off the back of Joe, who himself is 10 seconds adrift of Ricardo. There's a chance of points here for Bottas. This BSC has really helped out Magnussen here. Give him a chance to refill his battery. Those soft tyres starting to hit the point where they're going to fall away in pace. Being able to push for a couple of laps will certainly help him. Anthony, good to see you. How was
5
Turkey?
laps.
What have I missed? Did I win in my first season? Yes.
Here's the ending.
Copy.
Give
DRS
our
enabled.
drivers a little bit of pace for the next
Push.
lap or two, just to re-establish that gap to Verstappen. It's not that big. It looks big, but it's only because of the VSC. As they go through checkpoints, it will change. If you want to catch up, start watching from Monza. Right, Perez has been well and truly dropped. So 4th and 5th is pretty much assured for these two, unless they do a Ferrari and take themselves out. Monza was a turning point for us. Well, Monza was almost a turning point for us, but yeah, it was still a good race to watch. But we managed to snatch defeat from the jaws of victory at Monza, and then I think it was the next race at Singapore where things turned around for us.
If we could just drop back a bit.
It's just bringing the car home now. It's clear Russell doesn't have the pace. So
And avoid all curbs.
we'll just make sure that they can keep it out the wall. We'll stay focused on this little battle. It is the only battle of any significance. Well, actually, no, it's not. Bottas has managed to get himself up in front of Magnussen and is hanging on for dear life, trying to get that last point. Albon is just ahead. Albon's tyres are in worse shape as well. Magnussen gets back in front of Bottas. This is the fight for the final points position, and there's every chance that Albon might fall back into this fight as well, as these two DRS overtake each other, keep swapping places. We'll watch this fight. Aston Martin can fight amongst themselves. It doesn't matter which driver finishes in front of the other. They're going to get the same amount of points either way. This is potentially a really important fight, because this could be a point for Alfa Romeo, and they are going to really struggle to get points. Magnussen's trying to break away from Bottas. It's about a second. It's touch and go whether or not Bottas can stay in the DRS here. If he can't, he's in trouble. And we might see Ocon jump him. I think he's going to get jumped by Ocon. I think Bottas might be out of battery. Yeah, he's lost his opportunity for a point. I feel sorry for him. Ocon's going to swoop through here. He might retake this position from Ocon, because Ocon will not have DRS. No, he doesn't even have the pace for that. Can Ocon get Magnussen? Oh, we've still got one more lap to go. Oh, okay. For some reason I thought this was the final lap. In that case, Ocon is going to get Magnussen, I think. Piastri's got himself up to 13th. Bottas is dropping back. He can't even keep up with these guys. Ocon can get a really clean overtake here and gets a nice run. He might even possibly be able to hunt down Albon. Magnussen's going to have DRS to fight back here. Yeah, side by side. Ocon keeps his nose in front and completes the defence, but Magnussen's not going to give it up.
Get in there, Lewis. Awesome race, mate. Absolutely fantastic race pace.
Lewis crosses the line in
And at the
first.
end of that final lap, Hamilton has secured the win.
He's just had better pace all race weekend.
What an amazing finish to a thrilling race. It's a real testament to their skill and the team's engineering.
Checkered flag is out. So that's P2.
Great race, guys.
Oh, we've got a yellow flag.
Well done.
Stroll and
And there's
Alonso
been quite a
very
crash.
close, and Perez has crashed. On the final corner, Perez crashes his car. He's still going to get home ahead of Norris, but that's more damage to that Red Bull. And that could play a significant factor in the next race in Miami. So Perez holds on for 7th. Norris is 8th. Albon is going to get 9th. And Ocon is going to get 10th and the final point. There we go. So just waiting on Zhou now to cross the line. Hulkenberg, the only driver lapped. Tsunoda not doing himself any favours on turn 1, a few laps back, and the Ferraris taking themselves out after just, 10 laps? Colliding at turn 2.
Wow, what a fantastic drive from Lewis Hamilton.
What a brilliant race that was for the team. They just did everything right, the driver included, of course.
Pure elation there as the driver regroups with a team that worked so hard to see this moment. The highly decorated record breaker from Stevenage once again taking to the podium.
There's further delight for the team as they get to see both drivers up there together.
And before they get back to work, I think it's time to cool off here in Azerbaijan. And as proceedings start to wind down here, what will Mercedes have made of this result, Karun?
I doubt they could be much happier. A win and a podium place. What a great way to round out the weekend.
Well, everybody, that's all from us here in Baku.
Coming up next, the teams will be taking a trip to the Sunshine State. The Hard Rock Stadium is laying down the track for a captivating race at the Miami Grand Prix.
So, confirmation of the final result. A win, fastest lap, and a sprint win for Lewis. He really does arrest George's charge to the towards the driver's title and says, no, I'm still here. I want to defend my championship. So 34 points for Lewis over this race weekend and 25 for George. So the gap does come down. It's now just 13 points between the two of them. It's going to tighten things up a bit as we go into the next few races. Max gets 21 points over the weekend for his double third place. And that keeps him on 63 points. He is 26 points off of Lewis. So he is now a complete race win and fastest lap behind Lewis Hamilton. Checo is 4th, gets 10 good points. Ocon in 5th, only gains the 1 point, and that was the point we saw him take on the final lap there. And that keeps him kind of within spitting distance. His pace has been really good so far this season. It's been a bit of a surprise to see Alpine quite so fast. But he's backed up Melbourne with another good display here. Charles Leclerc gets himself 3 points for the sprint, but obviously no points in the main, thanks to his collision with his teammate there. Big points for Aston Martin. 13 points for Lance, 15 points for Fernando. So they are tied on 23 points and just 2 behind Charles Leclerc now. Jumping ahead of Gasly and Sainz. Norris moving up a place as well at the expense of Magnussen with some more points for him. Albon gets himself another couple of points, so he's now off the mark. Hulkenberg, what a disastrous weekend for Hulkenberg. And Bottas, at 1 point, was so close to getting his first point of the season, but it just slipped away from him towards the end there. Let's take a look at the Constructors' Championship. 191 points for Mercedes against 103 for Red Bull. We're 88 points clear now, with another maximum 1-2 haul for us this weekend. It's looking like, you know, both championships are pretty much on lock at the moment. Aston Martin move ahead of Ferrari into 4th place in the standings, following Ferrari's absolute nightmare in the main race. McLaren move above Haas, so it's pretty close in that state there. Alpine do pull some points out of the weekend, but that's big gain from Aston Martin, so the gap of 4 points, all of a sudden Alpine are looking a little vulnerable there. And still just Alfa Romeo and AlphaTauri yet to score, but Bottas's 12th place finish in the sprint, in the main race there, is the highest position between the two teams, which is why they do move up into 9th place above AlphaTauri. So, let's have a look at the pit stops. Once again, we had the fastest 2 pit stops, so we get 1st and 2nd in the pit stop challenge. It's nice to have a pit crew that's working for us this season. Last season, our pit crew were a little bit slow, but we put some good training into them in pre-season, and they have responded very nicely for us. So we are running away with the pit stop challenge right now, which is going to be a huge injection of cash for Mercedes at the end of the season, which we will not be around to enjoy because we'll be moving on. Let's see, Aston Martin move themselves up to 6th. Williams jumped 2 places simply by time, but have yet to score any actual points. Haas and Alfa Romeo still languishing down at the bottom as well. And there you see the fastest pit stop, a 2.088 second stop for Lewis Hamilton, and George's stop 45 thousandths of a second slower, so very close. Where am I moving on to? Don't know yet. We're going to wait till towards the end of the season, see where the teams are kind of stacking up, and look for a good challenge. So there we go. A comfortable weekend for our drivers. We had to fight for George a bit in the sprint. He dropped down to 5th. We fought him back up to 2nd, but in the main race, he was 0.3 of a second a lap slower than Lewis. Just never had the pace to really challenge him this weekend. And obviously no experience gained for Teo this weekend. We didn't run him because it was a sprint, but he will be back in the car for the next Grand Prix, stepping in for George at Miami. So Lewis finally gets himself a bonus. It's 500,000. I forgot we upped it slightly in the contract negotiations. And George gets his bonus as well because he just needs a top 3 finish. So we come away with 5.1 mil in the bank. Very nice indeed. So Team Hub refurb is done. Our side pods are now done. Let's start manufacturing those. Looks like we have actually failed, lost a couple of side pods. Let's see. We are 4 days away from the next Grand Prix. I don't think we're going to get them in time. Ah, no, we're not. We might have to emergency manufacture one. No. We'll just go normal on these. Let's see. So the first one will be 8 days, second 15. So they'll both have a new side pod for Imola, but neither will have the new side pod for Miami. Okay, so we'll get 4 of those on the way. So we've got a couple of backups. We are almost about to get our suspension done as well. So let's churn that out. Let's have a look and see what did fail. The front wing needs to be swapped out. We'll do that. And the side pods, we are going to have to roll back to the previous spec for George, because we don't have a spare other side pod, and I don't think we can make, well, we can't make them because we're making the other ones. And we've got a failed suspension as well. We'll swap that out. Now let's have a look at what failed on Lewis's car. The front wing failed on his car as well. Swap that out. Was hoping that we would have the new side pods in place before one of them failed, but of course we had that fire which shut everything down for a while. Slowed down being able to get those other side pods out. Alright, let's go to our inbox. Car inspection results. Yeah, we've just dealt with that. Design center fire. Yep, that's now back up and running again. Yeah, we lost 2 weeks. Otherwise, we would have had those side pods probably in time for Miami. And we wouldn't have had that issue of having to roll back George to a previous spec. Team hub refurb is done. Okay, we've got, what, 4.6 mil in the bank. Let's see what needs to be researched. Oh, it's everything, isn't it? We're getting 10% change to everything for next season. Okay, well, we're going to hold off for now. We're going to wait till after Miami before we even think about doing any more parts. It's a bit too early to do some research, I think, until we decided what the next upgrades are going to be. Actually, how much cash do we have left in the cost cap? Let's have a look. 79 mil, about 80 mil. Okay, that's not too bad. Right, let's get this suspension design finished. Ta-da! Right, let's start making these suspensions. So again, we're not going to get these in time for Miami, but we should get them both in time for Imola. Yes, we will. And again, we want some spares on those as well. There we go. And the new front wing will not be ready in time to start manufacturing. So we'll have to wait till after Miami for that. But we will have enough time to make them for Imola, I do believe. There we go. Suspension design complete. Actually, are we in the ATR period yet? No, we're 6 days away. Okay, yeah, so we'll definitely wait till after Miami. We'll wait till the new ATR period before we start looking at what to work on next. Let's take a quick look at facilities. The wind tunnel refurb is on the way. Design center upgrade is 4.4 mil, which is just a bit too expensive. There we go. I think that is everything we can get done tonight. So, yeah, there we go. Let's just double check our cars. Make sure we've got enough spare parts available. We've got no spare front wings. Is that right? No, we don't. Oh, okay. If I'd realised that, I would have made some new ones. Oh, no, I know. I didn't make any extra spares because I was expecting the other project to have already finished. All right, well, we just have to hope we can get through this weekend without breaking a front wing. We've been pretty good on that so far. If we do, then we'll have a completely new spec of front wing for Imola, and we won't have to worry about making any more spares of the current spec. But if we do break one this weekend, we're going to have to emergency manufacture, I think, depending on when we break it. Or we might have to roll whoever broke it back to the previous spec. We do have plenty of the old ones because, stupidly, I forgot to actually make extra Mark 2s and made 2 extra Mark 1s before I realised what was going on. In fact, let's give a little bit of balance, because we have had to roll George back to a previous spec of side pod because we didn't have a spare for him. Let's make sure that he has a spare front wing. So we're going to equip that Mark 1 wing onto Lewis's car, and that means that now both drivers will have a spare front wing for Miami. And that will hopefully balance some of the differences between the two cars a little bit. But they will obviously be going in with slightly different spec in the next race. So we'll see what happens. Any other parts we need to worry about? We've got plenty of chassis, rear wings. We know about the side pods. We've got underfloors. We know about suspensions. We're fine there. Nothing to do with our drivers. We've allocated out our scouts, I think, haven't we? Yes, we did. With scouting drivers. We checked in with facilities. Let's check in with the board. So, high confidence, as you'd expect. Still delighted with results. I mean, that is 4 complete back-to-backs, back-to-back 1-2s now, and a back-to-back, well, say not a back-to-back, but you know, a 5th one if you count the sprint result as well. So well on target for achieving both objectives this season. In terms of our season balance, obviously this cost cap balance projected thing is not good, but it does say that we are probably projected, with no further expense, to spend about another 17 mil this season. So, or just under 18 mil. So that means that we have, if you take that off the 78 or so, 79 that we've got remaining, we have got about 60 million to play about with for the rest of this season. It's not huge, but it's not too bad. We shouldn't have the same issues we had last year, where we went very gung-ho on some intense development at the start of the season, and then had a lot of emergency manufacturing to do, which cost us an arm and a leg, because we got caught out with sprint weekends. This year we're going to be a bit more prepared for that, so we shouldn't have the same cost cap issues that we had last year, where we almost broke the cost cap. But yeah, there we go. That is the end of tonight's stream. So another great race for us, another great race weekend. We move to Miami for the next Grand Prix, which is going to be tomorrow night, same time as always, 9 PM UK time. So until then, that's it from me. Thanks for watching. I am Jim Bob, and I'll be back with some more F1 Manager very soon.